Hey guys, so I don't want to scare you. I know you read the headline and you're like, what is going on? Here's the deal. It is February, so that means it is Turner Syndrome Awareness Month, and I thought it would be cool to share my Turner Syndrome story because I have it. Now, some of you might know what it is, you might have no idea, but you're in for a story, so pop a squat and enjoy. Here's what happened. When I was 12 years old, 7th grade, 8th grade, I just noticed that like other girls were growing up and I was not. Not in the same way, not at the same speed. I'll say that much. So I went to my mom about this and I was kind of upset. And everybody was getting taller, all that stuff. And I said, Mom, why am I not? And she said, well, I'm only 5'3". I don't know, but let's take you to a doctor if you're really unhappy about it and see what we can do. So that's what she did. I was fortunate enough to be in Pittsburgh at the time where I was born and raised. And they've got fantastic doctors there. So we went to an endocrinologist. And they did a karyotype. And they realized, by reading that I have Turner Syndrome. And that is when one of the X chromosomes, if you're a girl, is altered. That's the actual medical definition. So without getting too complicated, that's what sets off a lot of other things for girls that they could have issues with. I just told you it meant that I had to develop at a different rate than other girls I knew. I needed to go through a couple different treatments. One of them was growth hormone to get as tall as I am now. If I didn't start taking those at like 12 or 13, those shots, yeah, they were shots, I probably would have stayed at 4'7", because Turner Syndrome. That's why. But today, I'm 5'1½". So if I didn't take those, I wouldn't have achieved that. And I like the way I look now, so I think it helped. And aside from that, doctors really, when they know that you have Turner Syndrome, they'll make sure your ears are good. They'll make sure your heart is good, because hearing loss, very prone for girls with Turner Syndrome. And you're probably wondering, well, why do you keep saying girls, 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 girls? Well, because it affects 1 in 2,500 girls worldwide. And to be even more specific, most of the embryos that have that genetic concoction don't even make it. So if you meet somebody with Turner Syndrome, hi, you guys know at least one now. They're pretty cool and pretty special, and I'm not just saying that. It's actually kind of rare to some extent. So to go back to some of the things that you might notice in someone who has it, they're going to be a smaller girl. They're going to be a girl who's at the doctor a lot, especially if they're a teenager, because they're probably still trying to figure out the way that they want to treat what they have so that they can look the way that they want to look. And aside from that, I mentioned the hearing, I mentioned the heart stuff. February is all about heart awareness, and girls with Turner Syndrome are at risk for aortic dissection, some more so than others. It's just something that, you know, it's a reason to get an echocardiogram. And thankfully, last time I got mine, things are cool. But it's very important, especially if you have Turner Syndrome, to keep watch over that kind of stuff. Also very important to stay active and exercise, because weight gain kind of goes along with the whole Turner Syndrome deal. Easier for us to do it, so I make sure that I work out every so often and, you know, don't eat too poorly. I work on that every single day. So another thing that you might notice is some learning stuff and some social stuff. Sometimes they might have a hard time making friends, because I know this isn't me. You guys know this isn't me, but girls may be a little shy because they're going through a lot at the time. And they also have what's called nonverbal learning disability, probably too. That's a whole other set of things, but basically it means I had a lot of trouble with math, and I had a lot of trouble with spatial concepts and graphs. And to this day, I need a tip calculator when I pay my waitress. So there's that. But I mean, you guys just heard me talk about ways that I get around it. You keep up with the doctors, you read. My mom did a lot of reading. Sometimes it scared her, but she did it so that she could stay informed and help me as I discovered what the rest of my life was going to be like. What's the next step? Well, part of what comes with having Turner syndrome as a female is, and this is only females, by the way, it's not guys, I will probably have to adopt when that decision comes. Without getting too into that, that's what that'll mean, and that's usually what it means for a lot of girls if they decide that that's the route that they want to take. I mean, there are other options, of course, but it's definitely best to consult your specialist to see if that's what the situation has to be for you, because I found out at a very young age that's probably what that would mean for me. If you want to find out more, there is the Turner Syndrome Society of the United States. They are nationwide, and they have chapters within most states, some states, so you can localize it a little bit more, and you can meet other girls that are going through the same thing that you are. I know this year the Turner Syndrome Society is having their annual conference in Denver, and I've been to 2 of them in my lifetime, and that's where moms, you can get all the information that you need as far as what to ask the doctors, what the next step as your daughter gets older is, and you'll probably also, for me, I found that it was good bonding with other girls, and I was able to keep in touch with other girls who were going through the same kind of thing as I was at 12 and 13, and, you know, I maintain a lot of that on my own now because I'm older, but it's important for girls to have that sense of security and to feel like they're just like anybody else, because to tell you the truth, I really don't encounter a whole lot of Turner syndrome moments in my daily life. I just know that I'm gonna be tiny, and that's completely fine. No one really says a whole lot about it anymore, and I know that it's best if I tell someone, hey, I learn better whenever I hear you speak to me, so when you're giving me an instruction, it's probably best to verbalize it, that sort of thing. So I talked about a Turner syndrome in the United States. There's also a local Minnesota Turner syndrome group chapter that you can check out, and Mayo obviously has a ton of sources and specialists, and my primary care is up on this, and she knows what the deal is, and I'm sure that if you go to Mayo, you know your doctor's very smart too, and you thank them. And if you think your daughter might be going through the same thing, sometimes we're diagnosed when we're babies, and sometimes it takes until we're 12 or 13, like in my case. So it's just something to keep in mind, and maybe it answered the why is Val so tiny question for you. I'll put a couple links for you to check out if you want to learn more too, but I just thought this was something to share with you guys so you learned a little bit more about me, and so that you learned about something you probably didn't even know existed before. So we're all going to learn things. If you have any questions about it, you can always find me on Facebook and at quickcountry.com too, and I'm more than willing to talk to any girls if you're out there watching this about what my experience was too. So that's all for now. Check out all the links if you like, and I'll see you guys at the next show.